Hey guys, welcome. It's Monday, April 13th. This is going to be the reading for the classwork. I figured I would record my voice so you guys can kind of follow along as I read the textbook. We're going to read a couple pages, 3 to be exact. And to remember, we are in Europe. We are in chapter 9. It is Europe. Okay, so we are in the continent of Europe. Now, Europe developed as an ancient civilization, most like all other places throughout the world, but pretty special. Lots of stories and mysteries and gods and goddesses, things like that. And that's really what we're going to be talking about. Ancient Greek gods and goddesses, rulers, different types of city-states, Athens, Sparta, etc. And then a little bit later comes the Roman Empire, and we will be reading about that as well. Okay? All right. 2.1 Roots of Democracy. Main idea. The ideas out of which democracy grew first took root in ancient Athens, like a democracy, like we have in the United States. People, the citizens, us, have a voice in government. The rulers of Athens laid the groundwork for a democracy, a government in which people can influence law and vote for representatives. Democracy was one of the Greek city-states. Greece lies on both the Balkan and Peloponnesus peninsulas. The two are connected by an isthmus, we learned about it, or a narrow strip of land. People first arrived in Greece around 50,000 BC. Early civilizations developed between 1900 BC and 1400 BC. Around 800 BC, several Greek city-states started to thrive. A city-state is an independent community that includes a city and its surrounding territory, kind of like a town and then a bunch of land. The mountains on the peninsulas made transportation and communication difficult. As a result, each city-state developed independently. The two largest and most important Greek city-states were Athens and Sparta. Each city-state established its own community and government. The earliest form of government in the city-states was a monarchy in which a king or queen rules. Over time, a group of upper-class noblemen called aristocrats began to act as advisors to the king. In some city-states, the aristocrats set up a ruling council that served as a government. This council was a form of oligarchy in which a small group rules. Look at this, all these different vocabulary words that we have gone over right back in the chapter. Around 650 BC, tyrants, or bad people, in many of the city-states seized power, took it from the councils, took control of the government, and re-established a one-person rule, a dictatorship. Today, any harsh ruler may be called a tyrant. However, not all tyrants in ancient Greece were bad leaders. Some were fair and had the support of the Greek people. Democracy in Athens. Around 600 BC, in Athens, a statesman named Solon controlled the government in the city-state. He established assemblies in which all wealthy people of Athens, not just aristocrats, made the laws. In 508 BC, a leader named Calithius increased the people's power and size even more. He established a direct democracy. Under this government, all citizens voted directly for laws. However, only Athenian adult males were citizens and had the right to vote. So who's excluded? People who are 18. When you turn 18 in the United States, you are allowed to vote. And women. Big one. Athens and Sparta. Democracy developed in Athens, but not in all city-states. Sparta, Athens' rival, had an oligarchy ruled by a small group of warriors. They supervised a military training system for Spartan boys and only males. Okay, really, Sparta was like super powerful, and they thought they were really manly and muscular. They would work out and throw spears. They were kind of crazy. In 1490, Athens and Sparta joined together to defeat the invading army of the Persian Empire under King Darius I. After that, however, the two city-states became fierce enemies. Two point two Classical Greece. Main idea. Greek ideas about democracy, architecture, philosophy, and science have had a lasting influence on Western culture. Anytime you see Western culture, think about basically the North and South Americas. Really, that's what they're talking about. Anytime the West is mentioned, they're talking truthfully about North and South America. How, and more specifically, usually the United States. How these classical people, how they lived, big statues, their architecture. We people embraced that and brought it elsewhere. That's spread of globalization. Okay. As you have learned, democracy began in ancient Greece in 461 BC. Pericles became the leader of Athens. His rule began the Golden Age, a period of wealth and power during which the democracy developed further and Greek culture flourished. The Golden Age of Greece. Pericles had three goals for Greece. The first was to strengthen the democracy. He accomplished this goal by paying citizens who held public office. This meant that even the people who were not wealthy could afford to serve in government. The leader's second goal was to expand the empire. Pericles built a strong navy and used it to increase. Pericles' third goal was to make Athens more beautiful. He began rebuilding the city, including the Acropolis. Many of Athens' temples had been destroyed during the war with Persia. Pericles constructed a new temple called the Parthenon, dedicated to the goddess Athena, from whom Athens was named. Greek achievements. The Golden Age of Greece was a period of extraordinary achievements. Greek architects designed temples and theaters with graceful columns. Philosophers, people who examined questions about the universe, searched for the truth. Socrates and his student Plato were leading philosophers. In the sciences, the mathematician Euclid developed the principle of geometry. The physician Hippocrates changed the practice of medicine by insisting that illnesses originated in the human body and were not caused by evil spirits. Greek culture spreads. Greece's golden age ended around 431 BC when war broke out between Athens and Sparta. The conflict, known as the Peloponnesian War, lasted 27 years and weakened both Athens and Sparta. Around 340 BC, King Philip II of Macedon took advantage of the weakened city-states and conquered Greece. In 334 BC, Philip's son, Alexander the Great, Alexander is a great name, became king and began to extend his father's empire. Alexander loved Greek culture and spread its ideas throughout the lands he conquered. Alexander died in 323 BC at the age of 33. The Greek ideas about democracy, science, and philosophy that he helped spread shaped the modern world. And we're going to pause there. So make sure when we go back, I'm going to have a worksheet for you to do. Make sure you listen to this. You can pause it. I will also post screenshots. So make sure you're following along and reading the information. Thank you, guys.